It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. UTSA head football coach Jeff Traylor joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. And, Coach, I got to be completely honest with you. I had to go to a wedding on a Saturday afternoon. My daughter was the maid of honor. Her best friend since, middle school was getting married. And I walk into that wedding, and you guys were up big at halftime. I didn't even check the score until somebody told me at the wedding what happened. What happened?
We came out the second half, and we had an MA on the backside of our protection. Defensive end stripped and scooped and scored. That made it, 35-14. Then they came down and had a good drive. We stopped them, made it 35-17. Offense did a great job. Long drive, answered, made it 42-17. You're feeling like, right before the fourth quarter, you're feeling pretty good. Lost a couple of corners to some injuries. Had a young one out there and a young safety. A miscommunication. One play, a 75-yard touchdown. Broke about 4 tackles, 3 tackles maybe. That put them back in the game. Had a great drive again. Ran lots of time off the clock. Got a field goal. And they went crazy. They went absolutely nuts on a 75-yard drive. Unbelievable. Some crucial penalties that really hurt us on the drive. Pretty common the entire season. Then we tried to run the ball. I should have, I know how you like 4-minute offense ran. I listened to you, and I ran the ball on first down. I should have freaking ran it naked, and I was conservative, and we couldn't run the ball the whole game. So I don't know why I thought we could then. It's just poor coaching. We throw it on second down, get close to the sticks, and then we drop it on third down. Punter hits the best punt of the game, puts them on the 3. We strip sack them. I think we got the ball game 1. They recovered on the 1, and then they went 99 yards in about 35 seconds, just on some busted coverages in the back. And we had the ball, had a minute left and a timeout left, and had the ball at midfield, and didn't execute our 2-minute offense. So offense played as good as we have all year, did not execute 4-minute, did not execute 2-minute. Defense was dominant about 95% of the game, about like we have been all year. 5% of the game we had penalties and some MAs in the back, which cost us the ball game. Momentum got going. We weren't good enough to stop it end of the day.
Well, Jeff, that is a huge stat as I look at it. 12 penalties for 129 yards. What do you attribute that to? Is that youth? What can you attribute that to?
That's a lack of discipline. There's no other way to say it. 2 of them were intentional, and that's unfair. You try and draw them off sides. You don't care if it's 4th and 1 or 4th and 6. You're just trying to get them off sides, right? So now you're down to 10. The one on Danye, the one that killed us, you go back and watch the video, and you let me know what you'd have told your kid when the quarterback slides that late. What do you tell him to do? We'll go watch the play. And there were 2 more pass interference penalties. I don't know how Denver could have played it any better. I don't know how Thailand could have played it any better. So now you're down to 7. And 2 on offsides on the offense, poor ball. You're down to 5. And the holding on Houston, go watch the video. And so it's unfortunate. It's those we've done this before and overcome a lot of that stuff. This is one of those years we haven't overcome it yet, especially on the road.
Jeff Traylor, head football coach of the UTSA Roadrunners here on the Blitz. And, Coach, you guys have won so many close games, some great comebacks, and this year that it just isn't swinging that way for you. You think about the Rice game, you look at this game, and, I read Greg Luca's article in the Express News, and my goodness, I don't know if you could get a better game from Owen, a better game from the offense, and you read the box score and you look at it, and how do you lose this game? Going through the film, I don't know if that's painful or is just head-scratching for you that you didn't get a win out of that game.
Yeah, it's all that. It's every bit of that. It's head-scratching. It's painful. Kids playing their tails off. That's what's getting lost in all this. They really are giving unbelievable effort. And I am crushed for those kids because they're giving it all we got. And it's my responsibility to get them coached better. And nobody wants to hear about injuries, but, our secondary, like, we lost Zay in the game in the corner. We lost Denver in the game in the corner. We lost Ken in the game, our safety. And those other kids are good players, but to put three of them out there together, and you had to move the other safety, it's a brand-new secondary. And we got exploited in the back. And I hate it for those kids. They're wonderful kids, and they're young, and they'll grow from it, but we're having to grow painfully. Our front seven's very mature. They're all veterans. They're seniors, which is why we're so dominant up front. And people want to talk about, the loss of Frank Harris. You'll never replace a Frank Harris's leadership, but you're also missing, the loss of Rashad Wisdom, an unbelievable leader in that back end. And with Ken being injured so much this year, he kind of took his place, and our corners continually to be injured. And we had to replace both those corners, and that's where we've really struggled, to be very honest with you, just in the back, trying to hold this thing together. And those kids are wonderful, and they're going to be good for us. But we got to get that fixed now.
Well, as you know, Jeff, I mean, obviously growing pains sometimes in college football when you've got a new hand that's dealt to you each and every year pretty much. And so I hear obviously the frustration, the in your voice. When you go to practice, I mean, how do you change that, or do you?
You mean the frustration in my voice?
Yeah, the voice is obviously you're down, things aren't going well, and you don't, you sound down, obviously. But to your players, I would imagine you don't want them to hear that, do you?
No, they never see me this way a day in their life, and I can promise you, I hate to say this, they're not listening to the radio show right now. No, they never hear my voice this way. Maybe after the game, that would be a slight lie. After the game, I was pretty hurt for those kids. But no, you put your game face back on, man, and you go to coaching kids, and that's what hurts so much. Fans getting ticked, and media questioning you, and all the things that come with losing. That's been going on for 100 years. That never, ever, 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 ever is going to change. My hurt is for those players. I know how much they give up. I know what those guys have sacrificed to stay here and play. And I hate it when I haven't coached well enough to get them a W.
Jeff Traylor, head coach of at UTSA here on the Blitz. Now, that said, and you probably should encourage them to listen to 94.1. We certainly would appreciate that. But you look at the goals coming into the season, and becoming bowl eligible is still a goal for this football program, although certainly a lot more challenging at this point. How much do you talk about that? And with 4 games left in the regular season for this group that has been used to winning a lot of games and winning some conference championships, to be able to say that, they're bowl eligible, do you talk about that aspect of it?
No, because to get to 6, you got to get to 4 first, and we're stuck on 3 right now, Bubba. And I totally know where you're going with that, the psychology of all of it. But we haven't approached that conversation yet. We've dug ourselves a real hole. Of the 4 games, 3 of those teams only have 3 losses total amongst the 3 of them. So I said this early, and I know everybody, when you're losing, everybody thinks you're making excuses, right? But I said this early. What was unfortunate for this team, us being so young offensively, we needed our home games early in the year to get the confidence, right? I was really worried about us going on the road so young, so early. And now we're 0-5 on the road. Now we've got 3 consecutive games at home. You can't make that up. We have 3 games at home. And you both know we're very, very good at home. 26-3 in the last 5 seasons, as good as anybody in the country. But we got to get to 29-3, boys, or we're not going to a bowl, right?
Yep.
So it's just the way the hand was dealt. And nobody feels sorry for a college football coach who's not winning close ball games. It's all on me. But we've got these 3 home games. Can I get these kids? And we are depleted. I mean, injury-wise, absolutely depleted. If you were to go through and look at our 2 deep, when the season began in fall camp to where we are right now, it would be a miracle for our kids to do it. But I know our crowd and our band, they really give us extra juice at home, and we're going to need all we can get. So we're playing a Memphis team that's as good. The most stars we've given to all their great players other than the University of Texas so far. So this is, in our opinion, talent-wise, the second best team we played this season.
And it's a first for you, from what I understand from last week, Coach. First 11 o'clock kickoff for Jeff Traylor.
At home.
At home.
We have been on the road twice. We beat Army in 22, and we beat Rice, I think, in 23 at 11. But yeah, in the history of our school, there was 14 times before I got here, and we've had 2. But this is my first home 11 o'clock one, so that'll be different for us.
You know, and it's the lights out game, the black uniforms. It's going to be a lot of fun. You know, mimosas and breakfast tacos in the Alamo Dome parking lot's going to be good. We know it's going to be a party. But let's talk a little bit about Memphis. Now, help me out, Coach. Their quarterback is he's a Texas kid, right? Denton Ryan?
Yeah, son of a great Texas high school football coach. I've known Dave forever. Does a fantastic job. And, you know, when I was recruiting Seth, we had Frank. And I wasn't going to lie to anybody. Frank was my starting quarterback. And Seth wanted the chance to play. And he went to Memphis, and he started there, you know, pretty much his whole career, which was kind of, you know, matching Frank's career, which is ironic. But I'm glad I was honest with the young man. I hate that I got to play against him, and he's got a really, really talented roster. I mean, that FedEx money is real, and they did a great job of identifying talent and buying some really good talent.
Well, and they are playing well, too, Jeff. I mean, and so it will be a challenge for your guys. But, I mean, I would think playing against a Memphis team, somebody that is that good, for just the opportunity to knock them off, have to be some sort of motivation, wouldn't it?
No, there's no doubt. It's just, yeah, we got to see what we got left in the tank. I mean, we got to see who we can get out there and get them coached up. And we play better at home. There's no way to. I'm just be lying to you if I didn't tell you that. And we're going to need to play substantially better. Now, offensively, we've got some things going here. Our quarterback is playing at a level that he's the future. Right? He's a sophomore. All those kids scoring those touchdowns are freshmen and sophomores. And I know everybody in the world is sick and tired of hearing about NIL and all that, but you have to really look at, you know, we've got to up our game there to keep those kids, or they'll be playing for somebody else next year. It's going to be a very frustrating season again. Our defense is mainly seniors. That front seven is veteran. They'll be ready to roll Saturday, and our young kids are getting better. Now the kids that got injured Saturday, the guys we got to replace them with, we got to get them ready to go, because there's going to be a lot of talent on that field for Memphis, and they're really good, boys. I mean, we got our hands full Saturday.
And you mentioned the FedEx money, and I'm looking at all the Texas kids on their roster, which I'm not a fan of leaving the state of Texas if you're a high school player from the state, but it is what it is. But like you said, Owen is playing so well. The offense, I mean, you score 45 points, you feel like you're going to win that game. And where he was, where he is now, just the development, this is going to be a big game. 11 o'clock kickoff. Like I said, mimosas,
yeah.
The blackout game, a lot to look forward to on Saturday.
Yeah, he'll be ready to roll. And to your point, those are kids from Texas that we used to get, right? Those relationships that I've had forever, those are guys that have always been on our roster. And when they're on other people's roster in other parts of the country, it just goes to show you. I know people are sick and tired of hearing Jeff Traylor talk about NIL. I get it. It is part of the new world. And if we don't step up, this losing we've been doing, boys, it's going to get a lot worse, because you won't keep these young, great players. We won't have to talk about Owen McCowan next year, or Patrick Overmeyer, or Houston Thomas, or Devin McEwen, or Brandon High, or Ben Rios, or DeAndre Marshall, or Kamar, Missouri, or Big J at tackle. Where do you want me to stop? They're all underclassmen. If we want them back, that's got to be our plan to get these guys back.
Boy, Jay, I tell you what, I feel for you and coaches like you. Honestly, it's just the way things are. And just off the subject, if you know, is this going to change anytime soon? The NIL?
It's July 2025. The schools take over, so the collectives might go away, and then it's on the university. So we'll see what our university is going to do. I'm looking forward to a conversation with President Amy, Dr. Compost is coming up here soon, so we can reveal our plan.
And in the meantime, for those listening that want to make that donation to the collective, and on that, Coach, if you got a quick second, I know we're running a little long, the news last week about going Nike. Does that infuse some money, or is that just all apparel?
No, I think that'll help some. Dr. Compost did a great job there. Very grateful for her. Our kids have wanted to be in Nike for a long time. They've made us a really great deal. I know we'll get a lot more apparel, a lot more brand recognition. Kids want to be in it. I'm not sure about the actual deal. Obviously, she orchestrated all of that, but much props to her and her department for getting that done. Because I know our kids are really excited about it. We got a lot of great things. And to your point, Jason, how you feel bad for it. Here's the great thing. And it's why I'm so excited about it. It's why I won't shut up about it. The city of San Antonio is as good a city there is in the country. I'll take my city against anybody else's city. I'll take my university against anybody else's university. I mean that. I'm in this for the long run. I want to fix this thing. And that's what it's going to take to get it fixed. And I get it right now. Everybody thinks I'm the worst coach in the world for losing all these close games. If we're going to flip it back, we got to keep these young kids that are playing so well on offense. And we got to replace those great defensive kids that are dominating up front. It's people got to quit looking at it like pay for play. It's the new way of the world. It's roster management. You've got to wrap your mind around this is what it takes to have a roster. That goes for girls basketball. That goes for boys basketball. That goes for boys baseball. I just am the head football coach, so I'm the one that has the microphone the most. So I'm the one that's got to speak about it the most. So everybody gets mad at me, but I'm just telling the truth, and nobody wants to hear the truth really.
No, we don't.
No,
we. Of course we do.
Nobody's mad at you, Coach.
Nobody. And to that point, Jeff. Honestly, on our YouTube page here, there's many people listening right now, just showing support and love for you. I just thought you ought to know that.
Well, if you'll think back in history, I was doing my griping way ahead when I was winning. Because I knew when this thing turned the other way, you start saying you need something, it's going to be I am making excuses, I am blaming, and I am not. I am the head football coach. It is my responsibility to coach these guys better. But I want to retire here. I want to be able to go to Spurs game with my white cap on and go to the Fiesta. I want to be able to go around this town and people not be like, that's the guy they had to fire because he couldn't get that dang thing turned back around again. I don't want to ride off in the sunset with my head down. I want to ride off in the sunset with this thing being one of the best programs in the country.
And it will be. And in 30-some-odd years, when you are finally allowed to retire, you might be able to do that.
Well, I'm going to come get a radio show with you two guys, and we're going to harass that next football coach.
We got a chair right here for you.
Absolutely. Coach, always appreciate it, man. Have fun. Saturday morning, 11 a.m., go kick their ass.
Well, sorry, man. There's nobody more crushed about this than me, but I appreciate y'all. God bless and birds up.
God bless, birds up. Jeff Traylor, head coach of the UTSA Roadrunners on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond online at buyersbarricades.com.
Oh, Jeff Traylor. He's one of a kind.